Hey there, Captain Chris German here with Crystal Coast Marine Consulting, and today's topic is going to be something which I'm a little nervous talking about. And the reason I'm talking about it is because there are so many opinions about how it's supposed to be done, and I'm going to get somebody commenting on this photo saying, "You're not knowing what you're talking about," and if you don't like what I'm saying here, don't watch. But if you do want to know how to use a VHF radio, this is one person's take on how it's supposed to work. And opinions are like certain parts of the anatomy. Everybody's got one. If your opinion differs, I'm sorry. But here's how I was taught, and this is how I'm going to teach my students how to sail and how to use a VHF radio. Now, there's a couple of different kinds of VHF radios. You have the mounted kind, which are right here. And this one doesn't have a antenna, actually. This is a boat that I'm just getting going in. I haven't managed to get the antenna hooked up on it yet. But it is on, and we'll show you how to use all that kind of stuff. The other one I have to show you, and this is one I prefer, is a handheld. And it's relatively simple. I got a payment protection plan for it from from West Marine. And if the thing gets dropped in the water, they'll replace it free of charge. It is going to get beaten up. It's going to fall. This is what happens with these things. And they're relatively inexpensive. They clip right on your belt. They work very, very well for line of sight, but don't expect that this thing's going to work for 20 miles away. It's not, but it is good. If you're sitting in the harbor and you need to call for a ferry ride to come pick you up, if you want to call Sea Tow and they're not too far from you, this is a good one to use. If you just want to talk to your buddies and they're all nearby in the fishing fleet, this is a good one to use. The first thing I want you to know is about channel 16, which this one is set to, and this one is set to. That is the international distress channel. It is the channel that is monitored by the United States Coast Guard. It is basically the 911 channel of VHF radio world. Do not use it unless you have a good reason to be using it. If you have problems, if you're in trouble, if your boat's going down, get on there, call for help. Every vessel is obligated to come help you if there's a problem, and if they are monitoring channel 16, they will be able to come help you. But 16 is not for just messing around and calling breaker 19. Don't do that. It's not that this channel's for, and if you get on there, everybody, and do that kind of stuff, people are going to know you don't know what you're doing out here. So respect this channel. But there's lots and lots of other channels out here. The other one that we're going to note is channel 13. And to turn that, I arrow down to channel 13. Right there, you see that? This is a commercial channel. This channel is used for bridge traffic, for bridge-to-bridge communication, for ships at sea. All commercial traffic monitors this one. And if you're going up and down the ICW and you need to call to get a bridge opened up on the radio, this is the number you're going to use, channel 13 on your VHF radio. So 13 and 16, those are the big ones that are important. A lot of yacht clubs and a lot of commercial marinas, they will monitor the non-commercial channels. I always monitor channel 6-9 in my businesses. Channel 6-8 is another one that people use quite often. It's not a universal thing whatsoever. The way you're going to find that is you're going to call the place you're going, call them ahead and ask them which channel they monitor. A lot of their websites will tell you they monitor channel 7-1 or 7-2 or 6-9 or 6-8. Just check ahead. Don't be hailing them on a channel that they're not listening for, because you're never going to get hold of them, and don't assume anything out there. Just because you think they might listen to a channel doesn't mean you're right. This is the VHF radio, and these are some of the parts. That's the antenna. That's the display where you can tell which channel you're on and the volume you've selected. The speaker where you're going to hear the sound come from. This is the squelch button. This knob is going to get you to be able to turn down the background noise so that you can actually hear the sounds a little bit better. This is the volume where you're going to turn it up and turn it down. The 16:9 selector, that's where you can switch from channel 16 to 6 to 9 really quickly. The channel up, the channel down. The weather features on this, that actually gets you to channels so it broadcasts weather all the time. The transmission power, that tells you how far you can transmit this thing. And the scanner button on this, that will allow you to monitor multiple channels at the same time. Make sure you read the manual, and before you head out on the water, familiarize yourself with the operation of the radio. The next thing I'm going to show you about is how to make a call, okay? It's really quite simple. But the big thing you're going to look out for is you're going to repeat things, all right? If I'm calling, we call this boat the Tanky, okay? If I'm calling another vessel, I'm going to call it vessel XYZ. So I hail vessel XYZ, vessel XYZ, vessel XYZ. This is the vessel Tanky on channel 68. That's how you call somebody. 3 times, because you got to get people hearing you. So the first time they may not hear it, the second time they may not hear it, the third time they will hear it, hopefully, and then you tell them who's calling, and you're going to tell them which channel you're on. If you're calling on channel 16, you go vessel XYZ, vessel XYZ, vessel XYZ. This is the Tanky calling on channel 16. Coast Guard's going to hear that. Then what you could do is you can switch over to another non-commercial channel, and once you've made contact with them, they will switch over with you, and you guys can go have your conversation out on the channel. There's lots and lots to learn about this. There's lots and lots to practice, but the big one you got to remember is channel 16. And the last little piece of information I'm going to go over in this video for our purposes today, anybody out there on the water that gets stuck out there, there's one number to remember, and it's channel 16, and there's one phrase to remember, and that is Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. If you're in trouble out there and you need help, it is the internationally known call sign by the Coast Guard, by Boat US, by SEATO, by all of them. They will all answer a Mayday call. And you need to be in trouble, you call Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. This is the vessel XYZ requesting immediate assistance on channel 16. Tell them what channel you're on. And then you start giving them all the other information. We got a big hole in the bottom. Our motor caught fire. Somebody's having a major cardiac incident on the boat and passed out. The captain fell overboard, and we're now drifting out of nowhere. All these types of things, those are Mayday types of calls. So if you are out on somebody else's boat and you don't remember anything else I said today, remember channel 16 and remember Mayday, 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 and that's how you're going to get help on a VHF radio. I'm Captain Chris German with Crystal Coast Marine Consulting. There's lots more to talk about with VHF radios, and if you come to me, we'll teach you. If you let me come to your boat, I'll teach you on your boat anywhere here in the United States. That's what I do. That's what Crystal Coast Marine Consulting is all about. Check us out, www.crystalcoastmarineconsulting.com. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned because we got lots more of these videos that are going to be coming down the pipe.